Welcome to the UK Man Podcast, episode 82. I'm Josh.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Dave.
And on this week's episode, welcome new listeners and what you working on.
All right, guys, welcome back to the UK Man Podcast, where we believe what one man can do, you can do as well, with a little help from your friends. And it helps to have the proper know-how. So hopefully we're going to give you guys some proper know-how like we always try to do on every show. So this week we wanted to say a special welcome to our new listeners that we've picked up recently. And we wanted to take some time and explain a little bit more about You Can Man, what we're all about. And also we wanted to take some time to talk about our current projects. And then Dave has the bonus segment coming back this week. So Dave's got the bonus segment for us. Dave, it better be good.
It's gonna be fire.
All right.
The kids would say.
As we always do every week, we take a little bit of time at least. We try not to drag it out, but we like to catch up and let our listeners know something notable that happened recently. So guys, what has been going on?
I want to talk about commercials.
Commercials?
Is that something notable that's been going on? That you just set that up like I got to talk about something noteworthy, but I'm not going to do that. I was watching the television today. It's football season, so I was watching TV, and a Buick commercial came on, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Buick is still a thing," which is really weird to me. I don't know why. And they like highlighted why it shouldn't be a car anymore, because the punchline of the ad was like a guy's in the car, he's about to drive the car. His lady gets in, his wife or whatever, gets in the car, his girlfriend, and she's like, "This is a Buick?" And he's like, "No, this is an Alexa." And she's like,
"What?
It's a Buick." He's like, "No, it's an Alexa." They're highlighting that it has an Alexa.
This is the best thing we've got going for us.
They were trying to say, they were just, I felt like dragging their name through the mud and saying it's not a Buick, it's an Alexa. It was really weird to me.
You see this Amazon over here? We're gonna hitch our wagon
it's
to
way
that.
better than, like, our car is terrible. It's an Amazon. It was so bizarre.
You know Amazon, the company? Well, we kind of use their stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And he just kept going on. No, it's an Alexa.
I think I heard that.
She was confused. I was confused. It was really weird. So I don't know why they're still
Buick.
around. Yeah, good job, guys.
Man, they're one of our sponsors, Dave. You better.
Yeah, I shouldn't badmouth them because we're courting them, but
right. Have you guys heard the thing? I don't know if it's still a thing because this was years ago that I heard it, but in China, it was a status symbol to have a black Buick.
Oh, really?
Sounds like I'm making this up, but it's not. And that was like the thing.
I would believe you like a black town car.
Well,
the new Lincoln Town car is kind of
whatever
legit.
the equivalent Buick was, that was like the status symbol.
The Regal, the lacrosse.
I don't know. I mean, they probably call it obviously something different in China.
Yeah.
But
all right. Well,
all right.
That's all I got.
So we're about to go get in the zone, AutoZone, because we got a new AutoZone coming, guys. And it's like walking distance to our house.
Yeah, I have a problem with that. A, because it's a really ugly orange building.
It is.
And I'm going to drive by it 7,000 times. But we have an O'Reilly's Auto Parts about 200 yards past that. And then we have an Advance Auto Parts, it's like 2.5 miles
Look,
away.
I'm excited about it. What is y'all's like preferred auto?
You're not breaking
place?
me away from O'Reilly. I love this O'Reilly just because of the staff. Yeah, shout out to this O'Reilly, the staff. I can't remember the guy's name. Older guy, love him. He's a great guy.
Tim and I had a crazy experience 2 nights ago.
Now, I've had a bad experience. There's one guy I had a bad experience with, but other than that, it's always good in there.
Okay. O'Reilly's was always weird to me because up until recent history, they had like dot matrix printers.
I think they still do.
Receipts.
Like Napa.
No, they've got. Oh, does Napa do that too? Super weird.
Not anymore, but I think Napa did till recently.
Hire some consultants.
I'm pretty sure that O'Reilly's
like everybody else does, and get with it here. Anyways, it's super weird. And then their parts catalog just seemed weird, like how the website and everything. I
don't go on their website.
I guess we're all different here because I'm an Advanced Auto Parts person. Since
I mostly am, honestly,
because they give they give all these perks, and pretty much every day on the website they're like, use this code for 20% off.
Yes.
And so I've gotten at least $75 back, like real dollars that I bought I've had free items. Like I just go pick them up because I paid with the rewards.
Okay.
So they're my guy. They're my guy right now.
Dave, you all right over there? Whoa. Just spraying us with COVID over here.
Yeah, we're going to have to cut that one out.
Obviously. No, we're not cutting that out.
All right, fine.
Super dramatic. Dave's he wasn't actually coughing up a lung. He was just
I'm getting, as Josh would laugh at me while he's saying I'm getting over something.
Something's coming on.
No, it's not coming on.
Yeah.
Over it.
Now, look, if you have the time, you're going to get your car parts from rockauto.com. I mean, that's where consistently way cheaper than any of the auto parts stores.
I did a full brake order with Rock Auto a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like all my brake parts.
Love it.
You got to do brakes. You got to do brakes online because there is so much.
What I like about Rock Auto is the catalog is uber specific for your exact vehicle. Like they tell you, here's the part that the manufacturer used, and then here are some other options.
Yes.
What about Pep Boys? We used to hit Pep Boys up hard on Canton Road.
I do not remember the last time I stepped foot in a Pep Boys.
Me neither. Yeah, I haven't been there. I mean, probably since high school.
And I think there's some other chains that we don't even have here that are in other parts of the country. And I'm trying to think of those, but
yeah, Napa is pretty legit. There's just not one as close as the 7 other stores we have.
They're consistently more expensive, though. I feel like
they are. But I've kind of heard that certain parts of theirs, like their brand name, whatever in-house, are like higher quality than the other stores. But
all right, listeners, weigh in on our Facebook group page and let us know what is your preferred auto parts store. Josh, what's been going on with you?
You know, all the news I have is related to an update, which is our show topic, an update on
your project. Got to save it.
So
okay,
I'm good.
Okay, well, let's get into welcoming our new listeners. So recently, I think we've added a lot of new listeners that heard me on the How to Money podcast, my good friends Joel and Matt. And so we thought we'd take a few minutes at least and talk about what we're all about. We've got a backlog of episodes now where we've talked about this, over episodes and stuff like that. But a lot of people don't go back and listen to a lot of episodes. Do you guys do that? Go back and listen to past episodes of podcasts you're into?
Only on one, and that's the Jocko podcast, and I've heard every single one of them.
Wow, Dave.
But I'll do it periodically, but not very often.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I have. I mean, especially if it's a lot of episodes, ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
We hope that you guys go back and listen to a lot of our past episodes. But we realize that a lot of people might not. They might just kind of pick up where we are now. And so we wanted to talk about what we're about. You've been listening now and you've heard our little tagline where we say, what one man can do, you can do as well, with a little help from your friends and the proper know-how. So what one man can do, you can do as well came from a good friend of mine, Julian, who helped me tremendously learn a lot of the skills that I have when I was renovating my own house, and he would always say, hey man, what one man can do, you can do as well. Cause I would always kind of complain to him and be like, yeah, I got to hire this out. I can't do this myself. And then he's just like, look, if this subcontractor guy can do this, you can figure it out too. And he helped me learn how to do some of these things. And that's what he would always say. So that's where it came from. Now, we're more than just DIY stuff. So we've done episodes in the past about entrepreneurship, just business stuff. We have plans to do health-related things. I guess we did the one on chiropractic.
Yep.
Care and stuff like that.
Running.
Fake doctors.
Ooh, tell that to Willard.
Sorry, Willard. I'm just kidding, man.
Yeah. So we have expanded far beyond DIY stuff. I think that DIY stuff will always be our core. So if you're interested in that, stick around for sure. But we're going to be talking about other things as well. And then we usually have a bonus segment that is like completely random. So it doesn't even necessarily have to do with DIY stuff. It's just anything. So most of the time I'm talking about like old man stuff, like the demise of the American chestnut tree, or
one of your finest works. That was super intriguing to me.
So you'll have to go back and listen to that one. But yeah, we are all about sharing the knowledge that we have. And that's why we're really big on our Facebook group and sharing all of the things that we've learned. And we've got a lot of activity going on there. So I highly encourage you to check out the Facebook group page. It's a forum where you can, there's tons of forums out there online having to do with DIY stuff, but it's really nice to be able to post a question and pretty much get a response, that day. And a lot of the people that we have on the group actually are very knowledgeable. And so to get a good turnaround answer quickly is really nice. And so yeah, if you have not checked out the Facebook group, definitely do that. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that, we say with a little help from your friends. Well, that extends to your friends. If you have a skill and you're not currently sharing that, we want to encourage you to do that. And so part of you learning that skill should always be, how am I going to pass this on to the next guy? So it might be a skill that you've learned that you may only use it like a couple times for your own personal use. So let's say that you go through the trouble of figuring out how to take out a load-bearing wall. Chances are good you're only going to do that a few times in your life unless you're helping a friend. Because how many houses are you actually going to live in? A handful, right? And how many of those houses are you going to take out a load-bearing wall? Probably not all of them. But once you've done that, that's one of those huge projects that you can then help a friend.
Yeah, very well said, Tim. What we really want to do is I've said it before, we want to be a call to arms for guys and gals out there to take on some projects in your house. And we want to encourage you guys that, you can do these things that you don't feel like you can do. Like Tim said, he didn't think he could ever take out a load-bearing wall, and his buddy Julian helped him out, showed him how to do it, gave him the proper know-how, as Tim would say. And now Tim has taken out, how many load-bearing walls have you taken out?
I don't know. I was trying to think about that. Quite a few.
I mean, it's probably, I'd say at least, 5, maybe not 10.
I don't know. The last one that I did, I got a little overconfident and almost screwed something up.
Yeah, you got to be careful of that. But like we said, or like I said, we just want to be kind of a call to arms and encourage people out there that you can do these projects in your house and you can help your friends out.
Yeah, so let's transition to talking about some current projects that we've got going on. I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast, but I am currently installing French doors with side lights and a transom. This thing's huge. That is going to close off our dining room, which is where my wife has set up her office. So I've already got French doors on the other side, and I'm closing the other side as well.
Is this like the door, like right when you come in the front door, you're closing that? I didn't know about that.
Yep, right when you come in the front door. And so nice. Before, when we first moved in, I had a set of French doors there, but it was only like a 42-inch set of French doors, so which are kind of small. And I actually took those out, repurposed them, put them in the basement, and then I opened up that opening there, but it didn't put any doors back, right? So it's weird. So that was in 2009. Have you guys ever renovated your own renovations? Meaning like years down the road, you reopen the work that you previously did?
No, that's next level. I
don't think I've done it yet, because everything I did was only like 5 years ago, not quite 10 years ago.
So I've actually done it a couple times now, because there was another door that I had moved over, and I just recently, I guess it was like 2018, and then I reopened it, and then I put a pocket door in. So I had redone that doorway twice now, which is super weird.
Here's my problem. I have work that I did 5 years ago that I haven't closed up. And so, I guess technically, yes, I'm not really reopening. It's been open it hadn't been 5 years, probably been 2 years.
Yeah. So it's really weird opening up a wall and you're like, man, I put that 2x4 in here in 2009. So it's like you're opening up your own little time capsule.
That's over 10 years ago. So that's kind of a long time, right?
Yeah. I've never done what I'm doing now because I'm basically having to join the side lights and the transom. And then I guess I'm going to put some sort of trim that will cover the seams. Mm-hmm. But I know it's probably pretty easy, and I've just never done it before. But this project also entailed moving over an outlet and a double switch box that had 4 friggin' wires going into this thing. I don't even know what's going on with it, but I just took a bunch of pictures and hooked it back up the same way that it came out. But man, that was a pain moving over an outlet and a switch box, like literally like probably 1.5 feet away. And just the amount of work that kind of goes into doing that, especially if you've got to go through a 2x4, which thankfully I didn't, but I did have to move one of the wires that I can't explain really on the podcast. But yeah, it just it was a lot of work. So that probably took up like half my day today, just trying to figure out this wiring issue. And then I'm going to have to deal with these massive doors that I'm putting in. But I think this is happening. What we're doing is happening all over the country. People closing up areas of their house with doors to make offices. And I was thinking, because of this pandemic, we're probably going to have like dedicated offices, like new homes. I mean, if they weren't already, there's going to be dedicated offices for sure. Like, I think that's just going to become a thing because so many people are working
like 4 bedroom, 3 bath, 1 office.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. For sure. All right, Dave, what you got? What you been working on?
I got a lot of things kind of in the queue, like a home office. I'm not working from home very much anymore, but I was, kind of had it on the list to put some French doors up in our formal living room, quote unquote, that is not used as a formal living room. It's basically used as an office / hey, throw all the kids' toys in there.
Now, will you have to close in? Is it like
It's like yours. It's an open doorway.
Okay.
Open doorway, throw some French doors in there, be done with it. But that's not happening yet. Right now, I'm continuing to deal with water infiltrating my house.
Whoa.
Now, all right, it's not infiltrating my house. So longtime listeners will know that I recently repaired a roof that had been leaking. My screen and porch was leaking for several years, and I was just dealing with it. Finally got that fixed. Well, now, right after we got that fixed, I take a shower. I come downstairs. My wife says, Dave, it's leaking down here in the bathroom. So we have bathrooms on top of each other, right? And I was taking a shower upstairs, and water was leaking down into the bathroom below. So I cut a hole in the ceiling, and I'm trying to look up there, and I'm just praying that it's something easy, like the caulk around the tub or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's the copper pipes that are leaking.
No.
Yeah. So, and I didn't realize this, like people get their houses like replumbed. The copper pipes replumbed after 30, 40, 50 years. And because that's kind of the lifespan of copper. And my house was built in 72, I think.
It's the lifespan of the thinner wall copper.
Well, so I was looking up there, and these pipes they're looking pretty rough. So I think they're called are they called pinhole leaks?
Yes.
So I think that's what I have going on. I got to get a plumber out.
It has a lot to do with your water quality, and I've even heard that if you do have a lot of rust in your water heater, that can also, at least on the hot water lines, can cause that. So I had a friend that started happening. That's got to be the worst, because then it's like just a little pinhole leak, and you don't in at any point anywhere on that line. And then you just think about how much copper pipe you've got behind the walls.
It's everywhere.
Now, both Josh and I live in older houses, and mine was built in 1964. And the copper that is in this house is the same outer diameter, but the inside diameter is less, because the wall thickness of the copper is a lot more than, I don't know, copper they started maybe using in the 70s, I think. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we're good.
Oh, yeah. I hope you're good, and I hope I'm not good.
Yeah. So I don't know. Josh, what have you been working on?
I'll just tell about one project that it's not even a project. It was like I threw it together in an afternoon, but it kind of checked a box. So we were looking to get our driveway replaced. Got 3 quotes. They all came in from anywhere from like $9,000 to $12,000, basically.
You have a short driveway too.
Yeah, it's a double driveway, and that included we wanted like a nice like a brick paver, like little front, I don't know, threshold. On
before your garage.
Yeah, and then a really short sidewalk to the front door. So not too much, but yes, not that big of a driveway. It's $9,000 to $12,000. So That's money we don't want to spend because I look at driveways like a roof. Like if it's not leaking, then it works. And if you can drive on it, then it works. So it's all, there's been pine trees over the years that are now taken down, but had roots going under the driveway. I mean, there's a couple swells in the concrete there, but there were a couple bad holes, just like straight up the concrete got totally busted out and a couple potholes going on. And it always feels like you're off-roading as you back in and out of the driveway. So I just got some Quickcrete and mixed it up. And
it doesn't look bad. I've seen it.
Yeah, I threw it down. I actually busted out a bigger space to make a more angular, patch. I didn't get a concrete saw or anything. But anyway, I put a couple patches down and it's pretty smooth. And it's good enough for me. It doesn't look like $1 million, but it was it was an afternoon and it solved a problem that bothered us every day. So
nice. How many more years do you think you're gonna?
Yeah, I was like, you got a couple of years. It'll last you a couple of few years.
I don't know.
I was going to ask how many
the patch.
How many more years?
The whole thing.
How many more years do you feel like you can go with that driveway before you're just like, all right,
I don't know how much worse it can get. I'm just like, well, we'll ride it out.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat too. It's the original driveway from '64, so it's that the entire top layer of that concrete is for sure gone. I mean, you're seeing the aggregate and stuff now, so. If yours was that much for the quote, I mean, I don't even want to know.
I know. I'm thinking about mine and Tim's. We have similar driveways.
3.5 times probably.
Yeah. What?
Well, it's like it's 3 times longer, but it's skinny.
Yeah, maybe not because you're paying for the cost to get them out there, right? And so maybe the price goes down. I mean,
I think we should ask about a twofer.
Pad. Like your area outside your garage doors is pretty
That's
big.
true. And we want to add on to it, actually. We want to wrap it around the back of the house.
You're over 20, I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're over.
Have you guys ever heard of, and hey, listen, if you're a listener and you've heard of this, because I've tried to kind of do some research on it, not exhaustively, but I want to know if you've got an older driveway, it's still relatively okay as far as the structure of it. Could you use that as a base for asphalt? That's what I want to know. Like if I blacktop that thing. No?
I would never blacktop a driveway.
Really?
That would look so weird.
Gosh.
Are you? It's
super common up north.
People would turn on it like they would think it was the continuation of your street.
My grandmother, she lives right outside of Nashville, kind of near the Nashville airport. And that's her driveway's always been a blacktop.
This has never even crossed my mind.
Really?
Yeah.
Not in the neighborhood.
No, I think it's a thing. I mean, I think it's
up north. It's very common, and I'm guessing it's something to do with freezing and thawing. But
why do you want to do that? Why would you?
Because it would be way cheaper. Yeah. That I could use the concrete as the stable base, and then I'd blacktop over it. I don't think it's a bad idea.
I don't know anything about asphalt. So.
That's what I mean. I was wondering if you guys had ever researched it. So
I mean, I think you can. I mean, you got to rough up the surface, right? And
yeah, kind of like they do when they
repave. Well, it's already rough. I mean,
it's true.
Yeah, you got to grind it up. You got to get it like a consistently, surface for that asphalt to bite to.
Groove it. You got to groove it.
Yeah.
I think it looked fine.
I'm going to say don't do it.
Please don't.
I want to know the cost. Like, so if I got an estimate, they're like, oh yeah, we do that all the time. I don't know. Maybe it's a thing. And maybe they're like, oh yeah, it'll be a fraction.
$20.
A fraction of the cost.
I can't think of, in a neighborhood around here, I can't think of one asphalt driveway.
Oh, I've seen them.
In a neighborhood?
Yes.
Or like off like kind of the main road.
I'm telling you,
look, you guys have some characters in this neighborhood already. No. So I wouldn't say it'd be out of place. All right. With the flagpole next door, the crazy house across the street, and then the guy on the corner with the yard, like.
Yeah, I think that it's a localized thing, meaning I think we have people that are listening now like, yeah, everybody does that where I live. So I think it's just where we live. It's just not as common.
Yeah. Asphalt driveways, I know, in the Northeast, super common.
No, it's super weird.
Super common.
It's weird.
Okay. Well, I'd like to look into that. All right. You guys got anything?
I got one more.
You got one more.
My
okay.
bathroom.
You're doing a bathroom, like a new bathroom.
Saga. Yeah. I haven't been doing a good job of stories on Instagram because I'm, at the beginning, you're all excited.
Yeah, you're hating life right now.
And right now, I'm not hating it. It's just like I'm in the tedium of like the million little decisions that have to be made. But we did get I don't know if I updated this. I used the Schluter Curdy system for the surround.
The orange stuff.
But man, it went up so easy. It's a billion times easier to work with than any kind of Hardy backer or whatever you typically use on that. And it's cleaner and lightweight. So almost tripled the cost probably, but I think totally worth it just because of the time it took.
Especially if you're dealing with a smaller bathroom like yours. Yeah.
Yes, it wasn't too cost prohibitive. And then we got tile installed. I'll save that for a separate show and we haven't done this show yet, but like contractor horror stories. This one wasn't a horror, but it was just a massive disappointment.
I've
got to like hold hands with somebody and be like, look, man, this is kind of how you should do.
I got a story about your tile guy.
Yeah.
Because I was cutting my grass. And what did I find in my grass?
No.
I found tiles in my grass. And I'm like, this had to have come from Josh's tile guy. I bet he was pissed and threw tile in my
He
grass.
probably fell off the truck.
He's not a mad guy.
I bet he like backed out.
He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Oh, okay.
No, he wasn't.
I found 2 pieces of tile in my yard. It was white tile.
I wonder if he turned around or something and he had him on the bumper or something. I don't know.
Why would you have tile?
It was super weird. To your son.
I meant to text you about it. I just forgot.
Interesting. Yeah, we didn't get into it or anything. I was just like, had to have a little chat about we can do better.
Nah, Josh.
Wasn't he there super late one night?
Oh, he was there late. He worked a 10-hour day. Getting there at 9 a.m. and then another 8-hour day, easy, like solid. So,
wow.
Later date, it looks fine. It's a basement bathroom, but man, it is not a perfect tile job. And that's what I really wanted because I did tons of prep work. Just getting.
So what you're saying is it's no Keystone Carpenter.
Oh gosh. I've been following Keystone Carpenter for probably over 2 years now. When I first started following him, he was going through tile guys. Like he would just be like, let one guy do a job and then can't work with him. I have not seen another tile guy on his job. That's why it takes him a long time because he does it himself.
For our listeners who don't know, Keystone Carpenter is this amazing contractor from the
one or
Northeast.
two man show.
Yeah, he does very high-end bathrooms, and he does all of the tile work now, apparently himself. He is super meticulous and does an excellent job of these really detailed Instagram stories. Yeah. So if you're interested in bathroom remodeling, definitely check out
He does other stuff, but bathrooms is like what he's known for.
Yeah.
I was called meticulous by this tile guy. And I took it as a compliment. I was like, all right, that sounds like the Keystone Carpenter because I've been watching his stories and trying to apply.
He wasn't intending it to be a compliment.
No, he was. He was young. He has a lot to learn. And I gave him some advice and he seriously took it to heart and thanked me. And he actually, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Anyway, he backed off his price because we had agreed on a price up front. And when the job was done and I walked him through everything I was seeing, I said, what do you think this is worth?
Oh, dang, Josh.
He pulled money off the table.
Whoa.
Josh will have the hard conversations.
Okay. That's great though. Like because that is a real world. I just learned this lesson with my wallet. And if you had discussed with him prior, this is what I'm expecting, and you did not deliver on this, how are you going to make it right?
Yep. So it's one of those things where at first I was super mad because the basic problem was a leveling issue. Like as he went up, he got off level.
Ooh.
And that's not acceptable when you're doing tile, especially we're using darker grout, so everything shows up. If we use light grout, I honestly probably wouldn't have even noticed. Yeah, I threw a level up on it at the end of the job and just held the level and had him look. And I was like, are you proud of this? Like, in a nice way. Like,
please tell me you didn't say that.
No, I just said, what do you think about this? And he was... So back to the point of I could have been like super angry, and I was like right at first. I was like, I'm spending all this money because I didn't want to do it myself. This guy came highly recommended because what else can you do? People who have used him before recommended him, people that I know. So we can get mad, or I can like calmly talk about what I expected versus what I just got and put it in his court, and then give him tips on how to, I don't know if he owns a long, like a 4-foot level. Like he needs to get one or a laser level.
That's the adult thing to do.
And so I told him, we had a good conversation and I wasn't rude, and he pulled money off the table and he told me, he was like, you're very meticulous. And I said, yeah, like I am. I did a lot of prep work and I wanted a really good tile job. And I said, this is going to work for us, but I think you can improve X, Y, and Z if you do these things.
Yeah.
And he apologized. He's like, yes, I can do better. I'm sorry. Like, moving forward, I'm going to improve my work.
Yeah, we've been talking for a long time about doing a dedicated show on contractors. I mean, we've hit on it obviously over the episodes, but we should probably do that because I've had to fire a guy before, and that was super tough. And so I think a lot of people have questions about how do I deal with these contractors who won't call me back, won't show up when they're supposed to. So that's a whole other topic that we're definitely going to get into in the future.
Let me make one more point just to close off this story. Because, I just talked about how these things were his fault because, I hire a tile guy, I expect a good tile job. Well, like you mentioned, Tim, up front, this is a lesson for me up front, and not to, this is a delicate line to walk, but up front, you should be using language and kind of showing people before they start, like what you're going to expect. Here are my expectations on these specific things. And you got to, because the guy might get offended and then do a purposely bad job. I would hope that would never happen, or just like not want to work with you because if you put yourself in a contractor's position and you have a homeowner that's telling you how to do your job up front,
right?
That's a red flag as a contractor. So I could do some work up front if I feel uneasy at all of like, hey, let's make sure we do this and this.
Right.
And this.
Now, if they're a really good contractor, they're going to initiate that conversation and talk about expectations on the front
next
end.
level. Yeah.
But you're going to be paying some dollars.
And it's hard to find those guys. I swear, I've had like Bright Spot. I had a pressure washer guy this week who via text, I've worked with this guy 3 times. Last week was the first time I ever met him because he was super concise and clear in his text messages. I'm going to do this, and here's how long it's going to take, and here's what it's going to cost. And the job is always good. And so we have just this easy working relationship because he gave expectations and he met them. Yeah. No problems.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do that show on contractors in the future. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. And then when we get back, Dave's got the bonus segment for us. Stick around. Community, craftsmanship, and adventure. Those 3 words can sum up one of our new show sponsors, Alpine Leather Co. They make handcrafted leather goods right here in the foothills of the North Georgia mountains. Now, you guys who are longtime listeners may have heard us talk about the term handcrafted and how it's just kind of tossed around by a lot of companies and doesn't really mean a whole lot. Not so with Alpine Leather Co. In fact, I've been to their shop and watched Nate, one of the owners, make something right in front of my eyes, handcrafted for sure. So if you like high quality, built to last leather goods, then go to their website and check out the amazing products that they're creating at alpineleather.co. And for being a You Can Man listener, we've even got a special promo code for you guys, which will give you 10% off at checkout. Just use the code, no spaces, You Can Man at checkout. And while you're at it, check out their Instagram at Alpine Leather Co. All right, guys, welcome back. Dave's got the bonus segment for us this week. Dave, it's been a while, man. I hope you got something good for us.
I'm happy to be back. It has been a while. So last podcast, last episode, whatever, I primed it and said I got something big in the works. Well, we're not doing that tonight. Okay, so I'm still working on that. So we got a little bit shorter segment tonight, but it's still going to be good. I kind of cringe that I'm bringing this back because I feel like it's played out. But we're doing trivia again tonight, but with a twist.
It better have a twist.
Dude, there's always room for some You Can Man trivia.
Tim is the only person playing tonight.
Okay. No.
Yeah, so.
You can't put me on the spot like that.
I'm just going to go ahead and, Josh, I'm going to need
I'll see you guys later.
No, Josh, I'm going to need your buy-in and your participation, and you'll find out in a minute why.
I'll participate.
I'm just going to call this segment Go Braves.
Oh no.
All right, so for the fans out there that don't know, Tim is not a huge sports fan.
Sports ball.
And so Tim says sports ball. He literally called I don't remember what it was. I think it was t-ball practice. He called it sports practice. No, it was soccer.
It was lacrosse.
Lacrosse. He called it. We got to go to sports practice. So Tim is not. He's not a big sports guy, and I'm guessing doesn't know a ton about sports. But
I bet if you gave Tim some like 1993 Braves trivia,
I might.
Well, we're gonna do that tonight.
Let's do it.
So we got 6 questions and a bonus question for you, where you can redeem yourself. 2 rounds. 3 questions in each round. And we're just like, this is going to be super casual and it's going to be chatty.
And non-judgmental.
Non-judgmental. It's going to be fun. So here we go. Question number 1. All right. So excuse me. I should I should preface this by saying the reason that we're doing this is because our Atlanta Braves are back in the National League Championship Series for the first time in 19 years. Okay. The last time they played in that series, Freddie Freeman was 12 years old. I had just graduated high school, so it's been a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go Braves.
Okay. So here we go. Question number 1. Who is the current Braves first baseman?
Shoot, Freddie Freeman.
All right. We started off really well.
You even dropped his name.
I did drop his name, and I kind of winced a little bit when I did that, but that's good. I think you're going to run the table here. Yeah, so Freddie Freeman is the current first baseman. I'm going to say long-time first baseman now.
Oh, yeah.
How long has he been there? 10 years?
10 years.
Yeah, long time. Okay, Freddie Freeman. Question number 2, true or false? The Braves won a World Series in the 2000s.
False.
False. When did they win the World Series?
1992 or 3?
95.
95, that's what I meant.
But
95.
Yeah, not in the 2000s. They probably should have won in the 2000s. Well, they should have won in.
I mean, I remember all that. I couldn't.
It's been so long. I'm kind of hazy. I mean, I remember it, but I'm hazy on some stuff.
All the 14 championships starting to run together after a while.
They do. Yeah, they really do. Okay, question number 3. Tim, you're doing good. Number 3, are the Braves in the American or the National League?
National League.
Yeah, I kind of spoiled that one because I said the NLCS. All right, 3 for 3. So you're perfect in round 1.
For the record, I would have known that they were in the National League.
Well, he missed the World Series. Oh, no, that wasn't a specific. Got it. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so no, he did get that right because he said false. He said false, yeah. All right, question number, so 100% in round number 1. Round number 2, I don't know if these get harder or not. I think they kind of do. Question number 4, how many cities have the Braves resided in?
Ooh, Milwaukee Braves.
Okay, that's
Boston Braves.
Okay.
And the Atlanta Braves.
Tim, I'm really impressed.
All right.
Yeah, so
I'm impressed with myself.
They started in Boston. Then they went to, I don't know what year they went to Milwaukee, but then they came to Atlanta in the 70s, I believe.
60s, I think.
Okay, so yeah, they've been in 3 cities. That is correct. Question number 5, how many World Series have the Braves won?
That's tough because I don't know the history.
It's hard if you're not a Braves fan.
I think I remember that it had been a very long time since they had won the World Series. I'm going to guess in the entire franchise history, they've won the World Series 4 times.
Oh, so close. So they've won 3 times. I believe that they're the only sports franchise to win a championship, a world championship in 3 different cities. So they won it in Boston.
1914.
They won it in Milwaukee, I think.
Yes.
What year? You don't have it? Fine. Then they won, of
57.
course. Okay, and then, of course, in 1995 in Atlanta, 3 world championships. Tim, you were super close on that.
All right.
Good job. Okay. What was that? That was question number 5. Man, you've only missed 1 question. So the last question, Tim, please name a player to play for both the Braves and the Atlanta Falcons.
Ooh, and the Atlanta Falcons. Oh, Deion Sanders.
Nice.
Neon
Dion.
Yeah, so there's a lesser known one. Brian Jordan also played for the Braves and the Falcons. I believe those were the only 2 people to do that. That's a noteworthy
I remember
feat.
him because my mom could never say Neon Dion right, and she'd be like, what would she say?
I wish we could have her on so she could say it.
I don't remember now, but she would like mix up the words or something. Dion, Neon. I don't know.
Yeah, so he played. I think he played in 2 games
person
in the same day.
Yes, he's done that. He was the only person ever to win a World Series and a Super Bowl.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't think I knew he was on the World Series team.
Yep.
And he came to a game in a helicopter. It might have been the day that he played. There was a 30 for 30 on this. Yeah, I think he played 2 games in one day, and I believe he took a helicopter to the Braves game.
Like you do.
Yeah, that's baller. So I was going to give you a bonus question because I was like, Tim's not going to get any of these right. But I'm super impressed. You did a good job. So the bonus question was, who is the greatest Braves player of all time? I'll accept 2 answers. There should only be one, but I'll accept
Chipper
2.
Jones.
Thank you.
Come on.
That's number 1.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
100% number 1.
Over Hank Aaron.
I'm going to say it for me.
No.
I'm going to say he's the best over Hank Aaron because Hank Aaron didn't only play. He wasn't only a Brave, right?
Chipper Jones was only ever.
Chipper Jones was only. I don't think Hank Aaron was only a Brave.
Yeah, I think Hank moved after his Braves, but I mean he was with the Milwaukee Braves, I believe, as well.
Yeah, check that out. But yeah, I'm gonna say 100% Chipper Jones for me because he was, during my rearing days, he was playing for the Atlanta
Here's
Braves.
what you'll really be surprised at, Dave. I was at the game where they honored Chipper after he had retired.
So I went to Chipper Jones night. Did we go to the same game?
Yeah, I guess so.
No, I went when he was still playing. I think it was.
This was after he stopped, and then it was like the next season, which I guess was the last
Did they have
season?
him out on the
No.
field? Because I feel like I went to that game.
So Hank Aaron played for the Milwaukee Braves, the Atlanta Braves, and he ended his career with the Milwaukee Brewers, but that was just like a 1 or 2 seasons.
Oh, really? See, I thought he was somewhere before the Braves.
No, you're going to get some hate mail about that.
I could have been thinking about the Milwaukee Braves. He only played 1 season for another team.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
Okay.
All right, Facebook group.
I feel a little bit bad about that because Hank Aaron, he's one of the all-time.
I would have
greats.
accepted Sid Bream, but
Whoa!
that was my favorite Braves player. Just because of the Sid slid.
I would say he was like a regular guy. Like he wasn't he was a good player, but he was
yes, he was just a normal average player.
Yeah.
But
All right. Facebook group, weigh in on what's your favorite Atlanta Braves. I think most of the people that we currently have in the Facebook group are more Atlanta,
Sure.
Georgia, just because that's kind of our network.
Alabama.
the Braves. Look, they are America's team, kind of like the Cowboys.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they are.
Cowboys is like one of those teams where you either like really, really love them or you really, really hate
but a
them.
ton of people all over the country love the Cowboys, and that's how it was with the Braves back in the day because they were on TBS.
True. That's true. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week's show. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully you've learned a little bit about what You Can Man is all about. And if you got any questions about these current projects that we mentioned and what we're working on, feel free to leave us a comment on our Facebook group page and join that if you have not already done so. We will catch you guys next time.